Okay, and action, yeah? I want to focus on the keys to negotiating your salary increase. How valued are you to your boss? Does your boss think you're irreplaceable? Do you do such a good job that your boss leans on you, considers you maybe his right-hand person, or just feels like his division, the company in general, would not be the same without you? Because if you're of a huge value in your boss's eyes, he's going to do everything he can to get this raise for you. How much extra effort are you willing to put into getting a raise? I mean, are you willing to go where you need to go to get the bucks you want to get? Because they don't just hand this stuff out to people for no reason. Matter of fact, a lot of companies feel that until you take on an additional 20% more work and sustain that amount of work for a minimum of 3 months, then they feel you have earned the right to ask for a raise. So when you're sitting down with your boss, know that he or she very easily could throw some additional responsibility your way. You're gonna have to be prepared to speak to it and make a decision rather quickly as to whether or not you want to put that much effort in to make a few extra bucks. This is important. Think about this stuff ahead of time. Now, what happens when your boss has you complete your own review? They slide this blank PDF document across the table and they say, before we get started, why don't you just go ahead and fill this out real quick and then we'll talk about it. Now, that can be the kiss of death to a lot of people because employees feel like they need to be modest when completing these. And I caution you against being modest. If you feel that you're great, tell them that you're great. If you feel you need some work in a certain area, then tell them that. Be as honest as you can be. And here's why. You're not going to have a good enough memory to remember where you said you needed work and where you didn't. Usually there's a scale, 1 to 5. 5 being the best, 1 meaning you need improvement. Well, if you were being modest and trying to downplay your abilities, maybe you gave yourself a 2 in some areas where you feel like you could do a little bit better. Well, if you do that in more than one place, 2 or 3 places, then you have to remember what it was if it's not sitting right in front of you during your conversation. Don't downplay. Build yourself up. It's okay to be confident. This is what I'm looking for. If your company has dollars in a pool that they are going to give to everybody for salary increases for the year, if it's annual review time, you have every bit as much right to that pool of money as anybody else. Now, a lot of people would say this is a zero-sum game, which means that there isn't going to be any money left on the table. Whatever that pool of money is that's going to be given to employees for raises, they're going to use every dollar of it. So it's up to you to go get what's yours. Which means that you build a case that is so compelling, and you go back and you look at what you've accomplished through the year, and you've done such a great job in documenting everything, that as you sit back and look at it in black and white, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't receive this raise. And when you go into that conversation with your boss with all of these things in front of you, prepared to answer all of the questions that we have just laid out for you in this video, you are now ready to get what you're asking for. You've positioned yourself with power. You know what's coming at you. You know the questions that your manager could throw at you. You know how to answer them. You know what you have to offer. You know the value that you brought to your position. And most importantly, you know the impact you had at your company. Now it's your job to sell it. It's your job to paint this picture, to tell this story to your manager in a way that he gets it, and in a way that he can turn around and repeat and regurgitate that story to his manager so that he can get the approval he needs to get this raise for you. This is my whole focus, is to get you to this point, and this is the mindset that you need when you go into this conversation. I can't wait to see you in the next video. We're going to talk about getting the initial appointment, sitting down and laying the framework for this raise conversation to take place. And I kind of like this little arm thing that's happening here too. All right, no, I don't want to go there. I'm going to have to get the red fly swatter. Okay. He just keeps flying right in my face. And action. You may have a point there. I'll check into it.
That one was done with authority.
You son of a... Do you have any idea what I've been dealing with? He almost went up my nose. Went up my nose. Went up my nose. Now you're running. Now you're scared. Boy, did he mess with my mojo.